Yo, what is going on, my people? Today, I want to talk about the top three beginner online business models, mainly the ones that I've done because I do think they are the best. I took a very, I wouldn't call it unique, but I took a very entry level route to all of this online business stuff, and I think other people can do the same thing. So let's dive straight into the business models. The first one is freelancing or an agency. So what an agency is, it's like freelancing, but you hire people, you hire a team, and you scale that up, and you can eventually sell it. But freelancing is more of a solo thing, like a one man show. Most of the things I talk about right now are one man shows, and because that's what I've done. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe it's a limiting belief or something else, but I just like being highly paid as an individual because it's something that I enjoy. We can dive deeper into that later. But for freelancing, it's mostly marketing disciplines. So you've got you've got email marketing, you've got web design or funnels, landing pages, you got graphic design. What else is there? Content creation, paid ads like Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, maybe even paid like social influencer growth if you're doing content creation. So, like Instagram agencies helping people grow on Instagram, or even Twitter agencies are starting to get pretty big now. And I had one of those myself for a few months. I took it to over 5 figures a month in those 2 months, but I stopped doing it and transitioned into something else. And so the thing with these marketing disciplines is that the more you have under your belt, the more you understand marketing and offer creation, the better you can serve a specific audience. It's all about specificity, right? So some people don't need just a full-fledged website. Most people can create that on their own. But what a lot of people do need is, let's say, like a landing page with a few emails on the back end. Like, let's say this is for a service business. Um, you have a landing page to collect leads with, say, a lead magnet, and then you have emails on the back end that try to get them on a call or just try to get them to set an appointment or something like that. And you have that like follow-up process, and then as an upsell you could run paid ads to that landing page and just like scale it from there. So the more you have under your belt, the better, but it's always good to just start with one or two, and then as you get clients or as you increase your skill set, you start to get paid more and more. And of course, understanding marketing, direct response marketing more to get paid more. The next business model is coaching or consulting. So if you have absolutely no interest in marketing disciplines like the ones we just listed, you can go like the fitness coaching route, performance coaching route, which is like psychology, and it's kind of like life coaching, but it doesn't sound as lame. It's marketed better, and it's like optimizing your mental performance and like productivity, other things, but performance coaching is a big one. It's very profitable. I've helped a lot of people set that up. Joey, for example, a sidepreneur who's a part of Modern Mastery, is a performance coach, and I helped him market himself. That's what I do consulting on now, is marketing for creators like Joey. And then if you understand marketing or any of the skills, the marketing skills we talked about above, you can do consulting for those too. And that's usually in conjunction with your done for you service. So if you are a freelancer, and you charge like $2,500 a month, then if they don't want to afford that, you can charge like a $5,000 consulting fee and like train them on it for 3 months, which is done with you. And then that leads into the next business model. So the online education is the done, what is it called? Do it yourself. It's the do it yourself variation of all of this. So what you would be doing there is you would be either productizing your high ticket offer or your freelance offer or your coaching offer, and whatever you help people do during that, you can turn into a product. So if you do web design, you can teach people web design. If you have that specific solution, like I talked about earlier, where you have like the landing page with the emails and just the follow-ups and then possibly paid ads, you can teach people that system. And by that time, you've probably already gotten results for it. So it's easier to sell the actual product, right? And Another way for the online education is something like this, like content creation. You can do that on YouTube, Instagram, really any social media platform. You just teach what you know, and that doesn't have to be marketing either. It can be self-improvement, really anything you're interested in. And that's the beauty of this all, right? Is you can really do anything. You can do whatever the fuck you want if you understand marketing, sales, positioning, angles, product creation, like offer creation, stuff like that. You can do anything you want, really. You may not believe it, but once you understand it and internalize it and actually study it, then you realize, yeah, you can do anything you fucking want, and it's kind of nice. Okay, so why are these business models the best? Well, you think of e-commerce or drop shipping or something else, like the whole solo business, the service and like online education business, uh, with like the done for you, done with you, do it yourself, and the dynamic between all of those is that it's mostly all free. Like you can accelerate your progress by buying a course on a specific one and upping your skill set, but you can also learn for free on YouTube or other places, and it's really just dependent on your self-education, right? As opposed to formal education. We talk about this a lot, how self-education will make you a fortune and formal education won't, or whatever it is. And that's really it. There's very low risk. It's an asymmetric bet. So keep that in mind. Asymmetric bet is like a very low risk investment, but with a huge upside, especially if you're consistent with it and iterate over time. So let's take YouTube, or in my case, Twitter, for example. Every piece of content that I post is an asymmetric bet. So even if it doesn't do well, it was still worth a shot. And what did it take? Like 5 minutes for me to create? The YouTube videos take me a bit longer, but when I post this, it has the potential of getting thousands upon thousands of views down the road and making me money if I have offers or some form of monetization method inside of there, right? And so the other good thing about this, it's very good for like ambitious individuals, because they value gaining experience, they value improvement. And if you know Modern Mastery, my brand, you understand that the main message behind it is that your business success is reliant on your personal success or your personal development, because all of the experience you gain over time, it just adds to your own value, and you're able to teach people more. You're able to teach from a more nuanced perspective, like this video. Like, how do I explain it? If you go look at another video titled Top 3 Business Models of 2021, I guarantee it's going to be some like cringe shit that's just like, oh, drop shipping and all these graphics and other stuff. And I'm sure it's great content. But I can come at it from this perspective because I've learned a lot along my journey, and I've talked to a lot of people along the way. And as I said earlier, it's like once you understand the basics or the fundamentals and you've truly internalized them, you can make as much money as you fucking want doing this. It's that simple. But it's all reliant on like acquiring the skills up front, and then going out trying to get results, seeing what doesn't get results, and then trying to get them more results by either improving your skill set or improving just your systems or processes or whatever it is, and then improving from there. And the other good thing about this is that every single skill you learn, let's say even in the fitness and like performance space in terms of coaching, but especially in the marketing space, is if you learn something like email marketing, design, content creation, landing pages, funnels, whatever, you can use that in your own business, whether down the road when you start an e-commerce brand, if you want to start an e-commerce brand, or any other online business, a personal brand, a podcast, something, you're going to have those marketing disciplines locked down, right? So it's not a waste of time at all. Even if you decide to go a different route after 2 years, you've learned so much, and it's just going to increase the potential success of your future businesses by a lot. Okay, so how do you make these work? The first thing I would do is prioritize skill acquisition and building real world projects for 2 to 3 months minimum, right? Just binge watch a shit ton of YouTube videos and practice actually doing it. If you want to get better at design, Just watch a few YouTube videos, have an idea pop into your head, and it's going to be like, okay, I want to make this design. And then you start and you try to create the design, and then when you hit a roadblock, that's where the learning moment is going to come. So let's say you are creating a logo, you get halfway through it and you're like, fuck, I don't know how to do this part. Then you look it up. That part is going to stick in your head, right? And you're going to look it up and you're going to figure it out, and then you'll never have to look it up again. It's going to be solidified in your head, and the more you do that for like 2-3 months, the better. And then after that, you need to focus on getting clients and getting results. That's the main thing. So outreach, and doing your best work up front, no matter what you charge. I'm not going to get into the debate about whether you should do it for free or charge a little bit and then increase your prices. Just do it for whatever the fuck you want. If you want to do it for free, do it for free. Get the results. If you want to do it for a cheaper rate, do it at a cheaper rate. Don't get stuck up on that. And that's the main thing. You want to focus all of your energy on getting clients and getting results and understanding offer creation to an extent, and marketing, because you need to understand who your service is actually going to help, and who's actually having a problem with that thing. But that's for another video, or if you join Modern Mastery HQ, it's a lot to go over. But just focus on help people more, get your name out there, word of mouth marketing, get in people's DMs, cold email them if you have to. Find where your ideal customer, the person you want to work with very badly, lives. So if you want to work with creators like this, you can find them on YouTube. If they have a shit logo or a shit banner or bad landing page or bad funnel or bad copywriting or anything of that nature, you reach out to them via email, possibly an Instagram DM. You be a normal human being. You lead with value. Say, hey, I have a few actionable tips to help you get X, Y, and Z. Focus on the ROI too. So how is your service actually helping them make more money? That's in the marketing discipline thing. So you need to come from the angle of you're going to help them make more money. If you're in the fitness or the performance coaching space, then you can hit from a different angle. Most in marketing, most big problems, or the places that hurt the most and the most money flows, is in the health, wealth, and relationships vertical, right? So that's, again, for another video, but focus on getting clients, focus on getting results, and just study, self-educate on how to do all of that. And so the next thing is building an audience as you go. Okay, so on whatever social platform you want to, if you want to be a writer, think about Medium, think about Twitter. If you want to land freelance clients, think about Facebook, LinkedIn, possibly Twitter, if you're going after specific niches that are on Twitter. And build an audience along the way, just talking about what you like to talk about, right? I think personal brands are the future, and there's no competition there. We'll talk about that in a bit, but when you're building an audience along the way, you're building your own traffic source for either when you plan to sell products, or if you just want to get organic inbound clients. You can even build a Facebook group. I guess that would be your audience on Facebook or something of that nature. But let's talk about how I did this and what I did. So I started off, I learned literally everything we've talked about. I went on a binge, and it took me more than 2 to 3 months. I just skipped around between a bunch of skills, but I wouldn't take that back, because that's what led to where I am now. So I learned design, I learned web design, funnel building, copywriting, some paid ads, SEO, whatever the fuck. And along the way, I guess you could say I learned some performance stuff. I just love studying self-improvement and spirituality and fitness and all of that stuff, like lifestyle optimization in a sense. I love that. And so eventually I saw success with web design and funnels, landing clients that way and freelancing that way. And then the next logical step for me was to productize my information, and I chose Twitter as a platform to grow on, and I grew fairly quickly. And then I ended up selling the products. And the reason I grew very quickly is because I took the personal brand approach, or like the experience approach is what I like to call it, where I just talk about whatever the fuck I want in terms of self-improvement and fitness and business and anything else, but I write it in a way. I reverse engineered Twitter as a platform, and like, how do I get this in front of people's face, and what content does well, and allows me to grow, and then also how am I positioning myself as an authority for the services and products that I offer. So that is one thing, huge thing to take into account. So when you're creating a personal brand or you're building an audience and sometimes even a brand, your unique set of experiences and all of this stuff is what makes all the difference. Because someone who is interested or teaches email marketing and self-improvement is going to be different from the person that teaches lead generation and self-improvement. There's minor differences there, and especially the tone of voice and the individual and how they market themselves and present themselves is going to determine the rate of growth and even how polarizing you are. It's not for everyone, but a lot of people can do it. Like, I don't know what the percentage is, but 1% of people become producers and the other 99% stay consumers. It's just human nature. So if you are actually someone who could stick this out for a year, then you win. So in short, all of my experience up until this time, so in freelancing, now consulting in digital products and just building an audience, building a brand, Modern Mastery, it was born from everything that I've done my entire life, pretty much. And that's what makes it stand out. That's what gives it the mission behind it. I think the world is shifting in this way too, and I feel like it's crazy. For the first time, I feel like I'm like on top of that wave. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong with all of this, but I feel like the personal touch is where people are going, especially with large corporations, right? I think that's exactly where it's going, actually, because there's Amazon. It's either you're a large corporation making a fuck ton of money selling generic solutions, or you are a human that is selling a very specific solution, and that is how you like game the market and make a good amount of money for yourself, right? Like, as a personal person, you only need to make like 10 20K a month to be pretty comfortable. But I mean, 20 30K, eventually 7 figures. If you stick it out for like 5 10 years, 7 figures is more than possible as like a 1 to 3 man show. You can have like a virtual assistant and other things, and like editors and whatever, content creators, or you're a small little team as a personal like individual. But I think that's where the world is going, is more specific solutions, and there's really no competition in it. So to recap, here's what we do. So we acquire skills, whether it's marketing or whatever you're interested in, fitness, performance, anything that falls under health, wealth, relationships, if you want to coach or consult, or even freelance. And then from there, if you're doing a high ticket service, so coaching, freelancing, consulting, focus on getting results up front. Results is literally all it is. If you get one, this is something that blows my mind. If you get one fucking crazy testimonial, you're set. You're kind of set. Like, if you help one person, let's say, like, for example, I helped my friend Joey. He was working a 9 to 5, and he was huge into psychology, and I helped him create his offer. And in 4 months, he made $28,000 fucking dollars, because it's just foolproof. And so now I have that testimonial, and I can replicate that. I really can, and that's all that matters. And I've gotten more testimonials from that. And so if you think about it, like, one testimonial, again, over the lifetime of your online business, can be worth like $100,000 plus dollars, right? So that's what I'm saying, is when you need testimonials and social proof and results for your actual service. And then if you skip the high ticket offer phase and just go straight into digital products and like content creation and education, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. But if you start with a high ticket offer, you can then productize your knowledge. And again, let's say you did web design, you can create a web design product and angle it at different markets or niches or audiences, and you just go from there. And by that time, this is getting a bit long, But by that time, if you've gotten that far, like if you stuck that is like 1 to 2 years, maybe 2 to 3, you win. That's it. That's all you have to fucking do is just actually get results for 2 to 3 years, and you are good to go for life. I promise. So that's it for this episode of Modern Mastery. If you enjoyed it, consider joining Modern Mastery HQ. This video is literally everything we talk about in there, just more in depth. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, YouTube channel, and the podcast. Leave a like, leave a comment, ask some questions, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.